The following presentation is my personal analysis of Emily Dickinson's I'm Nobody, Who Are You? I chose this piece because I not only enjoy reading Dickinson's work, but I also believe that within each of Emily Dickinson's poems, there's a strong underlying meaning, which makes her work great for analyzing. Emily Dickinson's I'm Nobody, Who Are You? Uses alienation as a theme. Dickinson was not only a strange, alienated woman, but was known as one of America's greatest poets. Dickinson's true life relates to her poems because she was very secluded from society. Dickinson was uncomfortable and shy in social situations, so she gradually reduced her social contacts by going out less and alienating herself from society. By her late 20s, her self-chosen alienation led to an almost complete seclusion. Dickinson spent most of her time in the family house and rarely met others from outside her close family circle. A man named Colonel Higginson, along with a woman named Miss Mabel Loomis Todd, edited a selection of Emily's poems for the few people that they thought would be interested in work. In his book full of edited Emily Dickinson poems, Colonel Higginson wrote, "Her verses are like poetry pulled up by the roots, with rain, dew, and earth still clinging, giving a freshness and fragrance not otherwise to be conveyed. When a thought makes one's breath take away, a lesson in grammar seems impertinent." In Dickinson's poem, I'm Nobody, Who Are You?, the character is alienating herself by choice. When the character finds somebody to relate to, all she can talk about is the fact that society is horrid. Though she has somebody to lean on, she is still not satisfied. She continues to alienate herself by complaining to her new friend about how terrible she thinks society is. The first three lines of the poem state, I'm nobody, who are you? Are you nobody too? Then there's a pair of us. These lines suggest that the character in the poem was looking for and found someone who is just as lonely as she is. Line 4 of I'm Nobody, Who Are You? States, don't tell, they'd advertise, you know? The word they in line 4 of the poem seems to be a simile for society. The characters think that having no label in society is better than being ridiculed by society for having a negative label. Dickinson uses very common words that are easy to understand, but creates a large meaning with those words. Dickinson uses a simile like a frog to compare society to an abundance of dirty, loud frogs who all live in one bog. The comparison of society to frogs implies that the character thinks that people of common society are like dirty and very public with their opinions. Dickinson compares the loud mouth of many people in society to the loud croaking of frogs. With Dickinson's simile, there is imagery. When reading the second stanzas of I'm Nobody, Who Are You?, an image of bogs full of frogs is put into the reader's head in place of society. This poem is specifically and precisely about a poet's and not just a young person's modesty and her concomitant fear of publicity. The character in I'm Nobody, Who Are You? Is overall a very alienated person. Having been a very secluded person, Dickinson's true life relates to her poems. Dickinson's life is most likely where the inspiration for the poem comes from. The character is alone in the beginning, but then finds somebody to relate to. The character in I'm Nobody, Who Are You is alienated by personal choice. The language, similes, and imagery in I'm Nobody, Who Are You really helps to express the poem's theme of alienation by showing the readers how much the character truly despises society. The character in I'm Nobody, Who Are You seems to have a fear of publicity. Alienation and loneliness is the theme of Emily Dickinson's I'm Nobody, Who Are You?